It's Victoria's mum, or should I say the infamous mum, since she keeps telling all these stories about what's happened when she's a child. But she asked me to be a guest today, and she asked me to talk a little bit about my history when I was young. The first time I came to America was when my parents emigrated, and it was at the beginning of the 60s, early 60s. It had been a rough time in England for my parents. They had a small business, and it wasn't going well. My mother's siblings had come to the United States, and so they decided they were going to immigrate. But they also decided my father would come over about 18 months before to get established and then send for us. Now, I was quite young. I was 10, 11 at the time, actually younger when this happened. And I was very, very much Daddy's little girl. So I missed him terribly. I'm sure my mother did too, and I'm sure my older sister did too, but I just knew that I missed him. And I think things were very difficult for him over here. And he missed us. And of course, it was way before the internet, and it was way before Skype, and it was way before all kinds of things. And to even make a long-distance call internationally was a huge deal. And I think we heard from him just a couple of times, other than letters, while he was gone. But one day, a package arrived, a big box. And in that box was the prettiest dress I had ever seen. It was all black and white and had musical notes all over it. And in it was a parasol. This was a princess outfit as far as I was concerned. And it was just the prettiest thing I'd ever seen. A few months after that, it was finally time for my sister and me to come to the United States. My mother was going to follow a little later on. I don't remember a lot about the journey. It took a long time. I remember my sister, who was 4 years older than me, was in charge, and as she always was. We landed in New York, and it was the time when you got off the plane and onto the tarmac. There were no breezeways or anything like that. I remember coming down off the stairs. It was very windy, and I remember her dropping all of our papers, all of our immigration papers and our passports, and them blowing all over the place, and everybody running around. We must have found them all because they let us in. But the clearest memory I have is standing at the end of a long hallway. And I remember seeing my father finally at the end of the hall. I remember them holding us back and then all of a sudden letting us go. And I remember running into my father's arms. It had been a long time. My parents finally settled and we had a nice little house and I went to school. And we settled into a new life. But my father died about 4 years later, very young. And although it was a long time ago, I still have a lot of memories of him and of that time. And I have one more thing. I still have the parasol. Happy histories.